Welcome to the Warframe Weapon Encyclopedia, where today we're checking out the Karyst Prime. So since this is a primed weapon, the only way to get it is to assemble it from its primed parts, which you can either get yourself by opening specific relics or by buying the parts from other players. But since relics are rotated in and out of the game quite frequently, I will leave a link to the official Karyst Prime Wikipedia website in the video description so you can check it out and see which relics you want to go for and whether they're available or not. The Karyst Prime is a Mastery Rank 12 dagger that does primarily slash damage, but it still has a ton of toxin and puncture as well as a little bit of impact on the side. It comes with solid crit chance of 24%, a slightly above average 2.2 times crit multiplier, and really good status chance of 30%. It is fairly slow with a base attack speed of 0.667, though this is not that big of a deal because the dagger stances have pretty fast animations and it has okay range for a dagger of 2.2 with really high follow through of 0.9. Now, one thing I want to point out with the Karyst Prime is that its base damage is huge and there are only very few melee weapons that can beat its 344 base damage per hit. It's really only beaten by weapons like the Inodem. And it's also a dagger, so we can run the dagger specific covert lethality, which gives you 16 initial combo as well as 100% extra finisher damage. Now, as far as the build is concerned, you have kind of like 3 build archetypes that you can choose from. You can go for a light attack build, which is gonna look kind of like this, which is a hybrid setup that utilizes Vital and Slash, and I would highly recommend you try to run Primed Reach here to take advantage of that awesome follow through stat. Though this unfortunately doesn't leave you enough space for combo duration because we also want to run Buskill to bump up Slice, so you're gonna have to get it somewhere else, but it's definitely worth it. This setup will happily slice through the entire game, including Steel Path, and it feels pretty nice to use as well. The attack speed is a bit on the lower side. I wouldn't necessarily call it slow, but I also wouldn't call it fast, but that's nothing that a bit of Warcry or even Arcane Strike can't fix. The second archetype focuses on heavy attacks, where all you really need to do is just bump up your crit, damage, and get some Vital on the weapon, because daggers have a forced slash proc on their heavy attack. This is a very powerful build that will pretty much one-tap any enemy that's not status resistant. The swing on the heavy attack is also fairly wide, so it's actually fairly easy to hit multiple enemies at once. And finally, we have the finisher build, where I personally just go for damage, finisher damage, and a little bit of attack speed with Primed Fury so the finishers aren't slow. This one-shots pretty much everything up to level 2, 3, hell maybe even 400, as long as you can open it up to a finisher, which isn't that difficult with the dagger as they do have a built-in opener on their heavy attack. The Karyst Prime is a bit of a beast. It is an absolutely gargantuous upgrade over the already pretty good Karyst, and it's one of the best daggers in the game. The only reason it's not the best dagger in the game is because, well, the Inodem has pretty similar stats, a little bit more damage, and it can be evolved. So if you're a fan of daggers and you don't just want to run around with the Inodem until the end of time, definitely pick up the Karyst Prime. It is pretty fun and very strong. And I almost forgot, as it is a dagger, it does increase your movement speed by 10% when you wield it. And as always guys, I thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye bye.